Uh, Good evening to the late night TCA show. I don't know, man. I don't know how long I'll be here because but I'll try. I'm tired though. I'm tired, but I will try to be here. See if other people will come join me. But it's good to be back. We said we'll do the late night stuff. Ben and Lofa introduced it, and then two of them apparently they always run from the start. But we'll see what happens. Uh, I'm looking at the front page Africa story for tomorrow, and this is saying that mixed reactions as Nimba Senator Prince Johnson's week-long funeral begins with lie in state funeral for the warlord. Um, People already having some issue, but some comments somebody made. Okay, this is what the guy said, and there's an issue people are discussing about it right now. It's trending. Maybe the guys can comment on it. But he says the Nima Legislative Caucus lost its arrowhead. The people of Nima have lost their leader. He taught us a lesson that county goes beyond everything, that a county is supreme beyond anything. To Mrs. Johnson, and the family, will be with you till the end. And he also said, we are with you, and we will do everything possible to uphold the legacy of our senator in the education sector, Senator Yan D. Twine, Nima Legislative Caucus. Then another one said, PYJ didn't leave any legacy. He killed the president and got elected into the parliament and never did anything to help the country they once ravaged caused because of greed. Digaro Epasio Clark. Two different version. Two different. There another one again. Yeah. So I don't know, but say the people of Nima have lost their leader. So Nima Legislative Caucus lost its arrowhead. He taught us a lesson that county goes beyond everything, that the county is supreme beyond anything. That's a strong statement, though. Yes, he said the county is supreme beyond. He taught us a lesson that county goes beyond everything, that the county is supreme beyond anything. That's Senator Yan D. Twine from the Nima Legislative Caucus. In other words, he's saying the county is above the country, though. I mean, it depends how you interpret it. You say the county is supreme. I mean, it's above everything. But we're going to see what happens after the senator is buried, how they're going to tread, how they're going to take things. We're going to see it. I'm told that tomorrow the body will be taken to Nima, which is Wednesday. They're going to go through a lot of ceremony, a lot of rituals, traditional stuff, and which is Wednesday. They'll continue on Thursday into Friday, and then Saturday they will have the funeral and then taken to his final resting place for burial. But people believe that the first, a lot of people want to see what happens after the funeral, who will replace him as senator. For I do know for sure there will be no one person who will fill that shoes of the late senator. No one person. It will be very hard. So, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll get some of the Nima elders, some of the Nima officials, the leaders to come and discuss about the way forward. What next? Many of them said, which I agreed, out of respect, they were silent. They were going to keep away from talking about his replacement until he was buried. The senator, I think he died in November. Yeah, November. And he kept his body all this long to honor him. But there are mixed reactions. Like I just read. Okay, let me read it again. Mixed reactions as Nima Senator Prince Johnson's week-long funeral begins with lie in state funeral for the warlord. Then this other statement. The Nimba Legislative Caucus lost its arrowhead. The people of Nimba have lost their leader. He taught us a lesson that country goes, that county, he said country, he said county. County goes beyond everything. That the county is supreme beyond anything. To Mrs. Johnson and the family, we will be with you till the end. Okay? We are with you. And we will do everything possible to uphold the legacy of our senator in the education sector, Senator Yan D. Twine, Nima Legislative Caucus. On the contrary, PYJ didn't leave any legacy. He killed the president and got elected. This okay, and the person said into the parliament and never did anything to help the country, the country, the once ravaged. The one ravaged for greed. Digado, the person's name is Digado Espacio Clark. So that's how it is, but again, that's Liberia. And like I said, for the fact that he's senator, a sitting senator, it is only true that he'll be accorded the appropriate respect by members of the 55th legislature. He passed away November 28th. Wow. December 28th. More than a month. Yeah. The family sources reviewed that he collapsed in a room and was pronounced dead at local clinic in Painesville. They call him one of the Liberia is grappling with the loss of one of its most controversial and prominent figures. Senator Johnson holds a complex place in Liberia's modern history. He rose to prominence during the Liberian Civil War as a leader of the Independent National Patriotic Front of Liberia, INPFL. Under his command, the INPFL captured and executed President Samuel Canyon Doe in 1990, a moment that remains one of the most vivid and controversial chapters of the conflict. After fleeing Liberia during the war, Johnson eventually returned and was elected senator of Nima County. He became the longest-serving post-war senator and one of the longest-serving lawmakers in Liberia's history. Johnson's legacy is sharply divided. While some view him as a warlord responsible for atrocities committed during the Civil War, he is deeply revered in his native Nimba, where he is hailed as a liberator and a hero. The senator's ceremony began on Monday with the turn of the Book of Condolence at the Capitol building. His body will lie in state for public viewing before being transported to Nima County for burial later this week. Despite the mixed reactions to his death, the week-long riots underscore Senator Johnson's significance in Liberia's history and politics. For many in Nima, his passing marks the loss of a symbol of the struggle and resilience. Well, that's it though. And then another one says, wow. people, that's it though. That's how it is. So another developing story here is the National Public Health Institute of Liberia MPhil has taken action against alleged corruption within its ranks, dismissing two senior officials and suspending several others, following an investigation into unauthorized removal and illegal sale of 11 government-owned vehicles. Wow, 11? The dismissals announced by MPhil Director General Dr. Dubert Christopher Young affected George Watson, Special Assistant to the Deputy Director for Administration, and Pee Wee Kwekwe, Director of Logistics. Others affected by Director Young's action include Darlington Barr, Deputy Director for Logistics, has been indefinitely suspended, while 3 drivers. Wow. The decision follows the findings of a 7-member investigative committee comprising Liberia National Police, the Internal Audit Agency, and MPhil Senior Management Team. Okay. Dr. Yan reaffirmed his commitment to eradicating corruption within the institution. Corruption will have no place at the MPhil under my watch, as this may undermine the progress we are making here. We strive to maintain the integrity and standards of the MPhil, Dr. Yan Intun. Oh, the investigative committee has also recommended the president boycott the dismissal of Dr. Adams K. Lincoln, Deputy Director General of Administration, for allegedly masterminding the scheme. Oh my God. Dr. Lincoln is accused of creating fake GSA documents to claim an MPhil vehicle for personal use, facilitating the unlawful removal and disposal of government assets. Wow. That's MPhil. Another one. The Temple of Justice was scene of drama and controversy on Monday when Thomas Etheridge, the prime suspect in the Capitol building fire incident, collapsed multiple times during the court hearing. Etheridge, accompanied by his lawyers and family members, appeared before Criminal Court B following a writ of habeas corpus filed by his lawyer, seeking his immediate release from what he termed as unlawful detention. Etheridge, a resident of Beerville, was arrested near the Capitol building on December 18, 2024, but was not charged within the constitutional mandated time of 48 hours. His lawyer, Consular Jonathan T. Massacre of the International Law Group, filed a petition alleging unlawful detention and inhumane treatment by the Liberia National Police and NSA. Etheridge alleges he was tortured, coerced to provide false statements, and subjected to waterboarding, beatings, and threats, including being thrown into a snake pit. Oh my God. As soon we got upstairs, the first thing they did, they butt naked me, he said. They told me that one man can never fight government. There are 2 persons that formulated statements indicting me, but I told them that I was innocent. They wanted me to admit that I bought gas and called people to burn the building. But every time I said I was innocent, they would hit me, knock me on the ground, and beat me for more than 5 minutes. They threatened to sodomize me and F with me. Oh my God. Judge Kabwa Nutai, presiding over the case, ordered Etheridge released into the custody of court-approved guarantors, who must ensure his immediate transfer to a credible health facility. The court mandated a medical report be submitted by January 16. The government, through its legal counsel, denied the allegations of torture, describing them as malicious and misleading. The Minister of Justice and Security Agency defended Etheridge's detention as compliant with legal standards and claimed the LMP and NSA operate with professionalism. Well, that's Liberia. Well, guys, I'll give up to 10:30. If the other guys don't come, I will have to leave because I cannot talk for long, talk alone. So by 10:30, if nobody shows up, I'll be leaving. Okay, another one. Another story they got here. Montserrado County Senator Darius Dillon, a staunch supporter of the rescue government, has publicly apologized for using the private jet propaganda against former President George Weah in 2023. Dillon and folks from the Unity Party criticized the former president for flying private jets, saying it was a waste of taxpayers' resources. Fast forward to 2025, 1 year into the Joseph Boaga-led government, Boaga and his Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn have been seen frequently flying private jets to attend international functions out of the country, a move that apparently forced Dillon to offer his apology to Weah. Like Weah, Boaga and his vice president have denied the decision to use taxpayers' money to fly private jets. In his own defense, Kuhn explained that on one of the occasions, the private jet he flew was not chartered by him. Rather, it was offered by a ride by a Ghanaian businessman who was also en route from Monrovia to Accra. For the president, 2 months into his regime, he promised Liberians he would fly commercial unless someone decided to send a private jet for him. However, a few days later, President Boaga was seen boarding a private jet with tail number CNSYA bound for Guinea-Bissau. Since then, President Boaga and his Vice President Kuhn, during most of the international meetings, have used private jets. Appearing as guest of the OK conversation Monday, Dillon apologized to former President Weah for not knowing the amount of constraints a president undertakes when flying without a private jet. As Dara Dillon, who campaigned against the use of private jets against former President Weah, I want to publicly apologize to him, Senator Dillon said. The Montserrado County Senator added, "We did not understand the constraints, the reasons, and the justification for using private jet by the President of Liberia. We condemned former President Weah." Still speaking, Dillon said it is good to admit when one is wrong so that the person can correct the wrong. We see the need, and I will say now, for the use of private jets by the President of Liberia, Montserrado County Senator said. The Montserrado County Senator added that Liberia as a country needs to have its own plane for the use of the president and other officials. The thing that can solve the private jet issue is for us to procure a presidential jet for Liberia for the use of the president and for official use. We did not understand. We condemned former President Weah, and we use it as one of the cons to remove him, he explained. Liberia, interesting country. Very interesting country. Well, guys, it's sad, man. It's our country. I don't know what to say about Liberia, but my people, we in man. Every time I open my phone, somebody passing. I just got another message against somebody that passed away again. Oh my God. It's so sad, man. It's sad. It's sad. Well, guys. Well, as I said, I gave a few more minutes. I'll be out of here though, because the other guys a little bit tired. Maybe everybody tired. You know, it's the middle of the week. I'm in the middle of the week, so we just want to be here for 2 hours, so we can call it. But apparently, the other guys are tired too. But let's see. I see that the Peabody trying to come on. I don't know, but there's Peabody bedtime. I don't know. Peabody was he will just make a appearance and go. I don't know, but Let me give him a few minutes to see whether he's coming. But in the meantime, um, yeah, another story trending. People are sad, very sad though. Hmm. Yeah, I gotta talk up man, just say something about this one. Hmm. Authorities in the U.S. state of North Carolina are investigating the death of a 57-year-old Liberian national found dead in a backseat of a vehicle in Johnstown County early Sunday morning. The deceased, identified as Emmanuel Kwame Bidi, previously served as an aide to the late Mabutu Nyimpa, former public works minister. At approximately 1:06 a.m., the Johnstown County Sheriff's Office in the North Carolina State Highway Patrol received two separate reports regarding a suspicious individual in a vehicle in the 2500 block of Holy Grove Road. One caller alerted the sheriff's office about a man dressed in all black clothing seen walking outside a nearby shelter. Another caller reported a vehicle in the same area with its hazard lights on, raising concerns that it may have been involved in an accident. Upon arrival, a trooper discovers Billy's body in the backseat of the vehicle with an apparent gunshot wound. A crime scene has been established and the sheriff's office is treating Billy's death as a homicide. As of 11:30 on Monday, no suspect have been identified and investigation is ongoing. This one is close to me, people. I've been knowing this guy since from Liberia days. He graduated with my sister in 1985 from Rick's Institute. I attended that graduation. There were three girls that I graduated with that class. Patience George, my sister, Bosu Jala, and Sando. And Sando, yes, I forgot Sando's last name. And we graduated with our Rick's graduating class. And since then, I've known him all along, man. I've known him all along. And to hear about his passing is just sad. And then that is even while we're on the show, the Peabody informed me about another person passing too, who all were together recently, all was together in New York. And this guy, we spent a whole day with this guy, Peabody and I. Yeah, and when our guys came from Liberia, they when Newton came, we all were together. And we all were together. In fact, he hosted them. And O'Neill and Clarence Jackson. So yeah, that he passed tonight. So, but sad.
Life is really short. I mean, a lot of people die, man. You know, a lot of people die. My friend Robert Rees, and I mean, he was doing very well. He had a liver transplant. Uh, he recovered. He was doing excellent. He went back to work. He was doing really good. And I understand that he had not been feeling well. He also suffered from sugar, and apparently had gone to the urgent care. He had sugar, and they advised him to go to the hospital that night. I mean, they were able to help him bring his sugar down. It went very high. He went home, and but they advised him. I understand urgent care had advised him that he needed to follow up immediately uh, uh, with the hospital or his doctor. But I understand he went home, waited a couple of days, and then was not feeling well again and decided to drive himself to the hospital. He went there and then he got in coma. And he died while he was on the show. So it's really sad, you know. People die. A lot of people die here, but that young man that died in North Carolina, the guy that got shot and hurt by somebody else that
Yeah,
died.
our friend Tiola's brother
Yeah, brother died too. Yeah.
in Liberia. Our friend Gus Cooper left from Minnesota with his wife.
Yeah.
He died. He died in Liberia too.
Yeah.
I was in Rhode Island a week, 2 weeks ago to a Mr. Kennedy's funeral. I asked for my friend Alex Brown. And next day I come. Next day I hear Alex died in your house. And the police, they don't even know when he died because they call his phone, they didn't get him. Someone to go check on him and saw his father's body. You know, man, it's sad, but
Yeah.
we who are Christians, we said we cannot question God. God knows why. We put our hope in Jesus and just continue to live one day at a time, and that God will be done. Just it's sad, very sad. It hurts a lot. Hurts a
Yeah,
lot.
man. Roberts was so,
Yeah, I
and
remember we spent our whole day with him at the house. I think we
yeah,
ate
we spent a
there.
lot of time. We talked to guys there. And one thing he did for me when the guys went to the U.S. and came to the U.S. and then we were trying the best way to get them closer to New York. I mean, New York's very expensive. We didn't expect them to pay a lot of money. Very expensive. Hotel in New York costs you $400 to $500 easily. Not
Yeah.
even not even a 5 star. So we said no. So as too many and I were kind of navigating, looking for ways that we could accommodate these guys. Uh, Somebody was calling. I called Rob. I said, "Hey, Rob, I'm looking for some of my friends here in New York. Do you have a place? No, anybody have a place they could stay? We can pay them." He said, "No, I'm the only one here. My kids went to the mom. They're not here. They can come and stay here." And those guys stayed there and were very happy. They built a great relationship. He took them around. I mean, showed them avenue. Those who needed to get checkup, he took them places to get the checkup and things like that. And he was just cool. In fact, last week, I was just like, I said, damn, I got to call Robert. I haven't gone out, I'll come back to New York and visit with him. And just to, yeah, I was on the show when I got the call. I said, Robert,
Hmm.
what is this?
It's
Cool
true,
guy.
Susan. That's why we have to put away malice and hate because life is getting shorter day by day. It's true though. There's
Yeah.
nothing in this holding this taking things personal to the extent where you ruin relationship that you established for years. I mean, you getting mad with someone. Look, you say and move on. Express yourself. You know.
So, what? And that's what, I've been getting a lot of call and text message tonight about people talking about they fed somebody to pay school fee and all
Oh,
those kind
when
of
I, what's that? Where it came from? What I want coming from?
so I think the web beef is going on with some government official and the CEO and
No, I no, but everybody break it down because I've been getting bits and pieces. I know Ben.
I've been hearing it's a beef going on with I think Stanja and Minister Fagal, and then
Oh, okay.
I saw another feed of the day. I don't know why people put in my inbox. Really,
But what
what is
is?
that?
But
It's
the guy was involved too.
no, we're not part of
Okay,
that thing.
okay, okay, okay. That's all I want to know.
Well, we have a good relationship with everybody.
Yeah,
We
I
have
mean,
a good relationship.
I cool with
Stanton,
Stanton, I cool with Fagon, I
yeah,
cool with all the guys
yeah,
who bad mouth said things. But
yeah. The thing here is some of the very people who goes on Stanton show today were the most vocal people. They
oh
cuss
yeah,
us that they couldn't cuss no more.
right.
When we left, they called us by name. You guys, in fact, when we were on phone, those guys used to say, "Oh, I still got a lot of text messages from a lot of them here.
Oh yeah,
Wait, wait, you on that kind of show.
what
I
I'm
mean, they
doing
were
there.
cuss,
When
cuss,
that
cuss,
thing
cuss.
happened, yeah, they
Yeah,
said get on that show.
yeah,
But people the thing is that most of them wanted to be there. They wanted to be there
yeah,
at the time, so they were
yeah,
seeing. They used to go and write brand all kind of way. They wanted to be there, and so they did all these things just to. But now when I look after we turn around, the whole group, most of them there now, the people there who used to say the worst about Stanton,
mm,
say the worst about us. Now I see them there, And
I would say Alexander Boniface, Emmanuel, he said the closing argument was mentioned. I don't know. Nobody told me that.
if I don't stop it, nobody, you don't know what
Oh,
year I'm from.
yeah, you don't
And
know what here. Everybody that sent me tape,
nobody
we
told nothing about closing argument be mentioned with
no
it.
closing argument.
Eh,
Uh, 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 the beefing back and forth. But what I'm saying here is, look, man, it's a lot of competition now. Let's be honest.
mhm.
LBS have become very competitive.
Oh, I give Fagon credit though. On a
Yeah,
serious
they
note,
have.
Fagon has done a splendid job with LBS,
Mhm.
and he's doing a
Yeah,
good job with LBS. Fagon is transforming LBS. I won't lie, I gave him it. Fagon is like you. For I was told that when you go to LBS at the gate now, they got a get camera, CC camera there. They can
yeah,
see you come entering LBS, the camera there for the security, let you enter, and so forth. Fagon got a place different,
yeah.
and he's trying to make LBS, like he said, LBS will never be the same. And
And there's a major construction going on at LBS, major radio station. Now, if you watch at
body
almost
continue, yeah, body continue. Let me get some water to drink quick.
at almost every live broadcast now, LBS, you see LBS is present. LBS is here. ELTV is on the other side. ELTV is in this place. So now the ELBC is making the present really felt in Liberia now. Everybody getting to know. So it's becoming difficult now. Others will say, this we the one. If we don't go there, we don't call this service. So it's becoming more competitive now, and then people are not liking it because for one group are just dominating. But one station I know that is the best in Liberia. They go all over the country. Everywhere you go in Liberia, from Lofa, Bon, Nima, Sano, it's Truth FM. Truth FM got one of the biggest, if not the biggest, stuff in Monrovia. That the frequency is very very high. Uh, 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 uh. You see, I watched Eugene mention indicating the closing argument go over his postcard. Oh, really? I don't know. What did he say about closing argument and stuff like that? I mean, you know, but Truth FM is one of the biggest, and we are so proud to have our show broadcast on Truth. Everybody in Liberia listening to it. Everybody. Uh, uh, uh. The guy said if we relay the show on Radio Butro, man, we're working on it. We'd love to do that. We'd love to do that. As we build up. This show is not going anywhere. You saw how we've been with it, struggling with it. We're still going. Our people still happy. So, Radio Butro, we gotta get in contact with you. I believe you have been sending up messages. Uganda would love to do that. What we try to do is we try to get at least one or two more stations in Liberia where we can hit uh, 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 our show, and then we'll have the three different station carry on. But the biggest station carry on in Liberia now is Truth FM. Truth FM is one of the best. They have the biggest frequency. If you go to this station and see it, you will not believe it. O'Neill Roberts and Liability. They're doing a very good job there at Truth FM. It's one of the biggest. So we're very fortunate to be carried on Truth FM. We didn't want to just come online, but we wanted to be carried by a radio station. So when we come on the radio, people in all the counties can hear us. So we're trying to see how we can get local station then to Radio Butro and maybe some other station in Basel. But all these things require funds, require money. So we're still trying our best. Once we put our finances together, and then we'll hit other station. One of the things we're trying to do now, we're trying to monetize the closing acumen. We've done well in about a year. We got up to 20,000 followers. So we're still building our followers, but we're trying to monetize it where people be able to send us stars and things like that. So we're still working on it. So okay, so Radio Boots will cover the entire southeast. Okay, Grand Juliet, Grand Caribbean. That's something to look into, guy. Stacy Banwulu, we got to look into this. It would be great. You can relay the show for at least 2 hours every day, and so it can get to that point. Because closing argument, look, man, we are open, and that's why you see a lot of people come on the show. We're not selective about who we bring. We bring anybody. We always announce that if you got talent, you want to come on our show, you want to share your input, you bring it. We got others who will be joining us. Sometimes one time a week, sometimes 2 times a week. But we make this station versatile, so anybody can come, anybody can say things. Come on and let's talk about the issue. That's how it should be. We shouldn't be selective. We shouldn't hate people. You know, if the government does something good, we'll praise them. If they do something bad, we'll not praise them. Stuff like that. So,
Um, Radio Buta. I would like to talk to Radio Buta. I would like to talk to
yeah,
them because
that's good.
they can simulcast for us there. Southeast Sano Grand Jida Grand River says Radio Buta. Sagacious Bangulu. Please come
Putwe,
back.
Putwe. What's a Putwe?
Yeah,
Puto. Putwe.
yeah,
Listen,
Buta. Yeah,
what the guy said? The guy
Sagacious.
said, I watched Eugene mention.
That's not true. I watched the whole thing. Usually, I watched that whole podcast. Usually, I watched that podcast. In fact, Sarah double sent it to me. I watched it. He never mentioned. Usually,
Yeah,
yeah, he told me was closing argument. So you don't. Yeah. We get beef. Usually, why you? We get beef. So why? Usually, all cool. Why you?
He didn't call we are very best friends.
Yeah, we cool. Usually,
He didn't call closing argument's name, but he referred to all of you. He said your friends left you and established new.
yeah, but I watched it.
program.
All he said when your friend left you, you stop it. I will. Yeah. So, but anything bad? He said nothing bad. So.
Zaza, what you had in yourself, Esther?
Zaza, you can't show your face?
No, I'm sorry. I'll show my face tomorrow. I really want to show myself last night, but
Yeah.
not giving a chance. I beg you, please tonight. I'm not even.
I saw your message, Zaza. I wanted to bring it up, but I was in bed. I just came. I thought that I should be sleeping, but I just came up because one of my men died, and I was thinking it was taking me a while to go to bed. So I said, let me just go chill up till maybe 11 o'clock,
wow.
11:30.
Yeah, but my people will tell you, I'll be here the next maybe 15 minutes. If nobody show up, I'll be gone. So
Yeah,
tomorrow maybe.
Centenary and Reverend P. Ballet, Dr. P. Ballet, I just want to thank you guys for the time. Please, man, I don't want to say something and I will be leaving.
No problem. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, so last night I listened to people were asking why the opposition are not rebuffs. In my opinion, I may be wrong, but in my opinion, is the bigger opposition right now is the CDC and we are. And those who are in the opposition, they all oppose we are greatly. They fought him. For them to come now and form a coalition with him is hard. You saw the case of the past opposition. To form opposition with Bwaka was easy because Bwaka was not the head of United Party at the time. So all the mistakes of United Party, you couldn't put it on him. He had an excuse. But now you can't take Joy Weir and say you will not put Joy, you are not aligning yourself with the mistake of CDC. That's why the opposition is struggling. They will have to take Weir to go to them, but they will not go to Weir. On a serious note, that's the problem we have, and that's why the opposition is almost dying. In my opinion, I think that's what hurting the opposition. Actually, that's what I just wanted to say.
No, but I would Zaza, let me say this, right?
Yeah.
Liberian politics, right? Okay. 1997, you had 13 parties. Okay.
Yeah.
I think after that, 2005, you had, I don't know how many, sir?
23.
How many?
23. 2005.
23. Look at that. 23. Then 2011, you had how many?
2011. According to the record, 2011 were about 32, but I think
15. 15, right?
They were 32 registered, but 19 were on the ballot.
Then you had 2020, 2017, 15.
Yeah.
Then 23. And the thing about that is that, and Liberian people should be smart now, but now these people when they come around, and mind you, watch what happened here. We're in 2025. Some of them in the government right now. Some of them they kissing the rescue government. They when they say jump, they're jumping. Mind you, by 2025, 26, they will start having problem. They will start having problem among themselves. They will say, okay, I quit this government. I leave the government. They start condemning, attacking. Next thing you find out, you passing tomorrow on Thurman Street, on Broad Street, you find a party headquarters there in Kokota. They start a headquarters again. All the party will start reactivating, coming back. And people, then the problem, guys, that people will go follow behind these people. For what? Where were you doing it? Where are you for the last 5 years? Say you going to have a nation or what? When election time, then you guys show face. What is that? You should
if I can just give my no opinion on that quickly.
Yeah.
The reason is like while Dr. People was saying that you want to monitor the platform, right?
Yeah.
In Liberia, every political party it became like a cash cow. So that for instance, 4 of us on the show, Ben guy party, Tomalin guy the people guys, I got mine. We noticed that the moment you have a party, you become a target. People will run to you tomorrow to ask for endorsement. Even if you get 2-3% behind you, that endorsement is not free. So people use the issue of party to get money out of their friends. Then the very citizen to also use the party to also get money from political leaders. So for instance, Chief Timani, saying you are in Atlanta, let's say for instance, we're taking the Labro now, say, saying in Atlanta, you mean go establish your party in Rhode Island. And I mean, when you paying the man where to go, the party, the baby that was going sit down and say, you want to ring the play, you getting money. So that for you to get money out of people. For not creating jobs, so they use the political party as no jobs.
No, but the endorsement, I mean, they go election. I saw it only for endorsements. When they came for endorsements, people were there. Some people know they had nothing, no vote. Like you know, I won't call name, but certain person went to they met with President Weir for they wanted they wanted the endorsement. They demanded me say we said look at the one. you hardly get you get nothing in election. You got demand make it. They telling the president say they say I can endorse you, but I need the amount of ministry, I need a position, I need a one. We got bad luck. The first round you get nothing, but because I want your endorsement, so you can make with all the demands for what? So look, and to be frank with you, some people use it for just to win and deal. Because right now, to be frank with you, since the election ended, the parties that I would say that regular party still talking. I mean, the party, I know they're right now. I see CDC, I see ANC, I see Moneybar Party, Lino, and they got party and Gonglo Party LPP. I mean,
also speaking, Simon Freeman.
Yeah, the Simon Party. Where the other people? Where are they? Look at the guy they call where the guy who they send to Japan now? Appleton Party here. Tell me now, where is it? How can they make? I want to tell you say the election was fraudulent. Is it a lie? It was fraudulent. First of all, where is Appleton Party?
A party is at LEC. LEC is NEC, right? NEC.
It told their place.
It's at NEC.
To their place, but there's a man who told their place, but now his party is non-existent. The other guy party where he needs the lake has a party name.
I got about it.
That party Bob looking for now.
Cassette party?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They join CDC, yeah.
Yeah.
They endorse CDC. But the other guy too, where he needs that? Where the other guy, man? Another party. And they got a party, Nukwe, and Tyler and somebody party PUP.
Liberian
PUP.
Yeah.
PLP?
Yeah, PLP that cassette party, yeah. But where
the PLP that cassette a public party.
Yeah.
But you know, look, one thing that can happen to these small parties, because they're not structured, when they merge with these bigger parties, and after the elections, they can be gone. And that is the worst thing that the UP have done to themselves. After all of the infighting that they had among themselves, instead of them establishing themselves, they didn't do it. They went and they are almost like they have immersed themselves in this government. So UP can put up any formidable candidate anywhere because that candidate will be attached to this government.
You said UP?
Not what the name?
Yeah, they put
The other party. What the name?
no, but
Liberty.
mind you,
Liberty
what I'm
Party.
hearing, mind you now,
Liberty
Liberty
Party.
Party. Don't forget now. You see, the other party, the leader is the pro tem. They got money.
Yeah, that must.
Ah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because right now everybody knows that that Liberty Party is a part of this government. So there is no way Liberty Party. That's the bad thing that they did to themselves. They did not separate themselves from the Unity Party. They like the head and the tail. They are apart. So any negative shock that happened to the Unity Party,
the last time I checked, Liberty Party endorsed the CPP. Last time I checked on paper, everything, right?
Yeah.
Number two. The last time I checked, listen.
Yeah, I know.
The last time I checked, Charlene still with Liberty Party. Charlene Bronsky, Ben Sanvee still with Liberty Party. Yomli Kanga, Delon, Dano Sando. So the last time I checked, the Liberty Party still get an official then. Now you Ben Sanvee say he resigned on the Liberty Party. Ben Sanvee still no more Liberty Party. He may not be active, but Ben Sanvee still there. You got Yomli Kanga, Charlene Bronsky. You got Delon, Dano Sando. And so the Liberty Party, I heard they just got a new headquarters.
I understand they bought Dr. Catholic Party headquarters.
Aha, you see? They both got money. They both got money. They both got the full powers of the protein of the liberation.
They can buy whatever they want.
Yeah, but the party is
they already seen themselves with this government.
Oh,
did you see the budget outturn on the legislature?
Oh, the one where the one they spent the money they spent last year?
Yeah, for just hearing.
Oh yeah, I think I got something to me. Martin something to me.
Hearing they allocated 3 million and they spent 30 million. 10 million 300 something plus.
That country is rich. Look, Liberia is a rich country. Look, the money in that country, that's the reason why.
And that's just one budget last.
Anyone who wants to straighten that country, they will block you, they will stop you.
Yeah.
You see Cummings over reform. What they did, they block him. And the people say that man come, forget it. Our trouble will close. No more. He will take away cash from the system. You won't bring. You dealing with no more cash, Benny. You dealing with credit card.
Money. If I'm in Cummings' party or I'm closer to him, I will prefer to play fool to gain wisdom. Look at the most popular party and George form a coalition with them. You'll go through from now. Don't wait close to the election time. That was hurting.
But Zaza, yes,
the PPP broke out. It was too close to the election time, so you had to repair it.
But Zaza, yes. I don't think Mr. Cummings have a problem. In fact, Mr. Cummings was the one who advocated for them to form that CPP for all of them to come together. Because when you come together, you become a stronger force. But yes, it now. Okay. The issue of trust now will be a problem for Mr. Cummings if he's to merge with any other political party. The issue of trust will be a major problem for him because see what the UP and others did to him when they came together, when they formed CPP. All right. The goal was for them to meet. They were going to go to a convention and elect a leader. At the end of the day, what happened? And the gang gave Mr. Cummings that they even came out with case in court against him.
But
and they refused to go to the convention.
You're not understanding what I'm saying, Doctor. The fun I'm saying is that if they start soon, like right now, if they have started last year, by the time 2025 ends, you know where you are. If anything happens, you still got 3 more years to repair it. But if you don't do it now until 2026, 2027, by the time you try to repair, you already in the election time. You don't start late.
Starting what now?
If you want
What
to
do you
form
want
a
him to
coalition, let me
start?
start soon. The coalition is start. They hire in our CPP. The CPP broke off very late, close up to the election time. So I had to repair. So
Okay,
we could
you
start the
gave us an
coalition early.
example of that coalition. Give us an
What?
example of the coalition. Give us an example of that coalition.
The CPP, the CPP is an example. They started
I
CPP.
know.
The CPP did
Give us
not
a
break
new
up.
one that was coming to get the farm. Give us a
No,
new
I don't
one.
know
Like
how
what?
it's going to be like, but I'm saying if you have any plan of forming a coalition, you should form it early. That's what I'm saying.
If
No,
you have
but
Don't wait
Mr.
until
Cummings, where would that be?
2027.
no, but Zaza, right now, look, people learn from mistakes, right? Let me
Yep.
tell you, when you know what is UP today, the Liberian Unification Party Loop, Liberian Action Party LAP, and UP. They came together, they merged and said that be UP. That the party you see, Loop, LAP, and UP came together and said UP, they won. They had a won election to 2005. Like when CDC tried on their own, you know what it did? CDC, MPP, and LPDP came together and they won. Now UP had people from CDC, some people from UP, from Lower Party, and they came together and they all high camp they came on board. You see it? How they came on board, just like that. People come from different, but right now in 2005, what you need to do right now, you need to build your party. So when you go to the top, you have a bargaining chip. But if you go there with nothing, the people will just say, "Man, move." So if you go so if you join a coalition with someone, have something, bring something to the table. But if you come with nothing, so right now, I mean, if you talk about in terms of financial and thing, I give ANC credit. They know how to raise money. They got good. They know how to raise money, and they able to do something. But they got to structure their party. They're about to go to convention. Then see who will be the new national chairman of the party, the new leadership, and then whether they'll find out whether Cummings is going to run or not. They got to find out that one too. Then when the party is strong, organized, then they say okay. But right now, they have to organize before they come forward with something.
But too many. Just before the other guys come in, let me say that the issue of trust before forming a coalition with other parties will be a problem. Because it's easier to form this thing from an early stage. Everybody will come in. Oh yeah, we'll work together. We'll do this. But by the time they start going forward, folks want to start. You know what? We're going away with CPP. Everything was good. Mr. Cummings, I mean, ANC were paying their dues.
Oh yeah.
Their various party dues or whatever due ANC were paying. But when it got to a point where Mr. Cummings' presence was being felt and people are going to really gather and give him the support and probably becoming the chairman, what happened? And they started to back up. They came all this stuff. Oh, we can't go to no convention. We'll have black voting. We'll do this. Oh, and everything was they should have gone to the convention to elect a leader. Okay, the political leader, Mr. Cummings, already stood and said, if I go there and don't win and somebody else win, I will support them. And he stood by it. Even when the CPP, all that was going on. And finally, the United Party came and said, oh, we're going to go out. We don't want to be part of this. Again, we're going to go out. They still held CPP together till the end of the election.
Doctor, can I ask you a question, please? Why are you
Yeah.
confused? Okay, so let's look at the current opposition. The current opposition. Right now, you cannot count the current opposition without naming CDC. So let's just start with CDC. Has CDC formed any coalition in the past that succeeded? You can say yes.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. What next to CDC? We can say Gonglo. Who next to Gonglo? You can maybe count Lano, and then before you move on to Freeman. Now, of this group of people that
you forgetting ANC, you mentioned it.
No, ANC. Listen, the point saying we are cycling around ANC. I am talking about ANC because he is saying ANC problem right now will be an issue of trust. So I am saying let's look at ANC on the side. I'm talking like ANC. I'm saying like ANC. So looking at we are Gonglo and then the other people around. Do you think you can trust Gonglo and we are who were already in a coalition in the past? Doctor, I
Well,
just want you to why you conclude
I
you
mean,
look at them.
the issue here, I'm not saying that you can't trust them. The ANC uh, is coming to the table. That will be a stuff what they have to say that actually discuss among themselves. Who's going to be the leader? Who wants to run? Who? Because some people coming in there with the intention, oh, I'm not going to run this year. I'm not going to do. I'm not going to run the next election. I will do this with Kerry. As time goes on now, then we'll see them backing away. The thing is, when it comes to the opposition, it's a matter of trust. I'm gonna say again, you can't trust people in our country these days. Unfortunately, they come up with this great plan, and then when you load, they will leave you hanging and divert from you and stuff like that. Because they're not going into this with a genuine, uh, 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 they're not going into this with a genuine, that we are going into this to stand against the unity party government. We're going as one voice that are going to make a point. Some of them just going into it to see how much people come in, and then people right in the same group come out to you. Oh, my man, you can run. I mean, we can even break away and run our own party. Nobody will be president unless you and stuff like that. So if it's a client decides to run again, okay, President we are may run. If it's a one control run. And now your phone coalition, how is it going to be?
I think Dr. Piba, let me come in to reinforce Tomalin's point, right? The reason why ANC got shortchanged in the CPP because of the lack of numerical strength.
Right.
And this is where the advantage you can leverage yourself when you build that grassroots, right? And when you come in with that force, with the numerical strength, it's not easy for anyone to shortchange or backdoor you, to
Right.
shortchange you or backdoor you. You'll still have the numerical strength and you can go anywhere and use it as a bargaining chip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I agree with Tomalin. It's time to rethink the process, right? In the
Rebrand.
CPP, you know that the numerical strength, UP took advantage of their numerical strength in the CPP. That's why it happened. If
Mm-hmm.
UP had not had
Mm-hmm.
a numerical strength, that would not
Mm-hmm.
have happened.
Exactly. Yeah, I
So the
agree.
time that we took to have a coalition with them, we should have spent the time to build our
Yeah,
own
your
grass.
own. Yeah, yeah.
And
But Emery, let me ask you a
yeah,
question. Okay, you think remember during the CPP days, early days, when they were about to go to convention, excuse me, why you think they came out and said, oh no, they said you just said they had numerical strength, right? But then they said, no, we're not taking chance to go to any kind of election with Cummings. It felt that you're gonna buy a way through it. I mean, why you think? I mean, why were they afraid? Because it would have been transparent, though. So, I mean, when you go to the person are voting for, going to vote, doing the voting, you're not seeing a vote. So, why would you want to take a risk to say, I give somebody money to vote for me when the person go, they can change their mind? But why you think they were still afraid that they felt that it would have been the delegates would have been bought?
yeah, I think Tumali, if you look at the relationships Mr. Cummings had built within the CPP at the time, when he took over as chairman of the CPP, he built relationships with a lot of the people from different parties, right? And he had very strong relationship with them. As that result, uh, President Boyka was not too sure. He didn't have the confidence. He didn't have the trust within himself because he had drawn away from the people a little bit since Mr. Cummings had built that relationship and drawn closer to them. So he did not want to take the risk. That's what I mean. It's my vantage point. So first of all, I'll put a disclaimer when I come to speak on this platform from my own vantage point, my own opinion. I don't speak for ANC. I don't speak for Mr. Cummings. So that's the reason why I think if you look at Mr. Cummings, some people in ANC blamed him for not working mainly with his group, right? When he was the chairman for the CPP, he worked with Mo Ali. He worked with all the other people from different areas, with Dillon. He worked with every one of them. Now, they have already seen, they have tested his leadership. Whether people like it or not, Mr. Cummings was the most effective chairman within the CPP. The
Oh
most
yeah.
effective. The CPP was well organized. The CPP was highly respected. The CPP had integrity. The CPP had, a lot was going on structurally. You could see leadership, the presence, you could feel the presence of the CPP. And at that time, the CPP overwhelmed with the smartness of the structure, they overwhelmed CDC, the ruling party at the time. When Mr. Cummings was chairman, in fact, nothing was really working for CDC. The criticism internationally was picked up by international press. CDC became less popular when Mr. Cummings was chairman. So people saw his leadership, they felt it, they knew that he had, this is his whole style of leadership. People think that you have to be hard and harsh on our people, in as much as it is true. But when you look at the psychological aspect of our people, we have come from war. We don't need to be very harsh and hard. You just need to lead by example, and our people will follow. So the soft leadership skill is highly effective on, people in Liberia.
But Buddy, you think if the CPP had all things constant, if they are held together, no disruption, no breakaway, you think if they are held together? I'll ask two questions. Okay, if they're held together and then no problem, they go to convention. Who you think would have won the convention to be the who emerged as the leader of the CPP as standard bearer? First question. Second question, and then after that, after the person emerged as the standard bearer for the CPP, they form a ticket. Do you think that ticket would have won the CDC first round, or would have CDC would have gone second round with them? What do you think would have been the outcome?
Firstly, I believe how this started, right? Okay. If they have gone to that convention, given it a chance, right? I strongly believe Mr. Cummings would have had an edge, right? He would have had an edge. But, and that's one reason the Unity Party back up. Because why? Two things he could have probably used, try to get people on his side, and maybe I don't want to say this, but he could have used his monetary strength, stuff like that. But also the message, I truly believe he was going to win. And that's why the Unity Party, that Emmerich said, because of the numeric number, that they could not numeric strength, they could not it would have been difficult. But I think they felt something that they could not have if they have gone, because you have Liberty Party though. Yeah. Liberty Party were with them as well, and Mr. Cummings had a very strong support within the Liberty Party at the time. So they would have been exact numbers. No parties would have come with more delegate. I think it would have been the same delegate for all. So one, Unity Party could have carried that number, but then if you had Liberty Party and the ANC, Mr. Cummings definitely would have been the leader, and that's why they look at say, you know what? Hell no, we're not doing this with him.
You pass that stage. Okay. You pass that stage now. Okay, so Cummings is still not bearer for the CPP. Cummings, who you think will carry as a running mate? And number two, facing George Weah and Joa Taylor, what would have been the outcome?
That would have been a very tough election. I think the CDC themselves saw that. I think they saw it. They knew that. They didn't want that to happen. I have people from CDC who told me that, hey, Peabody, strong supporters, strong members. He said, if these guys had stayed together, it would have been a landslide. That's what they told me. They said CPP had stayed together, it would have been a landslide. And I believe it would have happened,
Yes. I believe it too, though. Because imagine you had Unity Party, Liberty Party, ANC, all in one. That would have been a force.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, a force. I know he would not carry Bugger as running mate. He would have been, you have found somebody either from UP or from the Liberty Party as running mate. One of them would have been. And they had ALP too. ALP were part of it too. So, they would have been a force to reckon with. So, it would have been a tough election. And that was what that was some people got mad. Like some all got mad with the whole thing, because he thought the CPP was the best alternative for Liberia at the time. But when the people had a motives, and then what hurts me is that after I heard all the whole thing now, how the CPP got dismantled, how people got involved to destroy it. I said, "Ella, bro, we'll know one will get it right."
That's why. That's why I'm
That's it.
talking about the issue of trust.
Yes.
Can Mr. Cummings trust any other political party in Liberia for them to form a coalition? That'll be a big one.
Baby, how?
But it's just one of the reasons why I have absolutely no trust in and somehow respect for President Boyka. I'll be realistic. Yeah, you can bestow him of having integrity, ethical person. When you look at in recent times, right, his association with some of the elements, apart from that, is politics. But when you look at his actions, right, in the CPP, that whole court thing was highly unethical. It was a lack of integrity, lies, and so when the UP started to spin the narrative that Mr. Cummings just wanted to become president, he didn't want to, and some of us we took it upon ourselves and ask the relevant question, right? And he said, "But if you keep asking me this is part, have you asked Ume Boyka whether he wanted me to become VP?" And the good thing about it, time when he was on T-Mass Jalate, I think he was on one of the interviews, and they asked him, President Boyka, Ambassador Boyka, whether he ever reached out to Cummings. At least Mr. Cummings was open, very bold, and asked for his support. But Mr. Boyka or President Boyka or Ambassador Boyka, never ever, he did not answer that question. So, the ingenuousness of President Boyka, you can see it that he's just not honest. People don't like to hear it. They will not like to hear it, but it's just the truth. All his actions going to court and being in court to testify and saying that you don't know a person when you have known that person for more than 30, 40, 50 years. To me, nobody who is truthful can be like that,
No, but to your point, right? I think people can remember when Spoon went to Liberia 2022, and Mr. Cummings came to see her at the hotel. I never forgot. I asked him that question. I asked that question. I said, "Have Mr. Boyka ever asked you to be his running mate?" And he said, that was his exact word. He said, one thing Mr. Boyka told him was, he said, "Joe, people depend on us." All he said, depend on us. He didn't stop there. He went to visit the former vice president at his house. Kept asking that question. Kept say, "Boyka ever actually, you ever coming to be a running mate?" He said, "No." And that's how I know that when anybody say, "Oh, Cummings," and the other thing though, you expect Cummings to come and say, "Oh, I come and beg, say, please make me your vice president." No. The question would have been, had Boyka asked Cummings whether Cummings would have accepted or not? That was the question. In fact, Ambassador Balu even said, Ambassador Balu said they tried the last minute of time, they tried to force the ticket. But Boyka was not in for it.
No,
He wasn't for it.
Tomalin, a little bit, please.
But Tomalin, yes, the mentality that a lot of people in the UP have is that Mr. Cummings refused to be Boyka vice president.
That's not true.
Everywhere I went in Liberia, and one of the things that I felt so sick when people tell me, I saw older folks who should know better. Why is it coming so stubborn? He can't be the vice president.
Exactly. They just keep that lie.
I asked him, I said, did he ever ask? Oh, yeah. I said, when? Oh, we heard. That's all they could tell you. When you jam there, oh, we heard. He asked Cummings. I said, this man have never asked Mr. Cummings to be a president. Boyka did not want it.
No.
That's one thing I think people didn't get. Oh, that fight came from Costa. Prior to Spoon, Costa was actually the almost like the only voice in our country. You are insulting Cummings. When Cummings became chair, the first person he invited when he took over the CPP chairmanship, the first person he invited was Costa. Now Costa fear is if they make him win me over, I will insult him. He can win anybody over. So giving him a chance, he will not give Boyka the chance. And Costa was close to Boyka. So he wanted Boyka to be president. So the only way he could allow Boyka to be president was to fight Cummings. So all that narrative came from Costa. You say, oh, the mayor in acting greedy, he can't for you to be under the Ome, you can't be over the Ome. And how about it okay? It was never President Boga, it was never Ambassador Boga who made that request. It came from Costa. And that Ghana, everybody ran with.
So
Like today. Yes.
That whole thing was an orchestrated plan. Me tell you
Right.
something.
That's what I'm saying.
They plan to put Cummings to sue Cummings were part of the design. They talk about figuring document. These were all things that the people plan orchestrated against this man. They had the plan. So and to be from you, look, everyone because I say we say Megan to all. We know what happened there. We know how it reached to that point. We know how people what the plan were about. And at the end of the day, today, you see, people can regret that. Oh, they think all the things that happened, they resolve guy and we're not even benefiting from it. So people can regret. So you see, coming sitting quiet. The man guy, he stay on the air. He stay enjoying his life. His family doing good. And by the end of the day, he living, moving, going by a normal business. He not struggling. He not struggling for anything. He want job. He looking for money for anybody else. He doing his business. Everything going fine. But just the fact that all Liberian people, we are just selfish. We selfish and about destroying our country. Until we get rid of that selfishness, we will be problems still.
Right. And Zaza, going back, right, one of the insinuation we had that Ambassador Boaga did not have a mind of his own. When you look at what George Lobo did, right? So the explanation you just gave is kind of confirming that he does not have a mind of his own. He's been into politics for decades, more than 4 or 5 decades, right? Dude. So if he can allow someone like Costa to control you,
dude, let me just give you a story about this Honorable Boakai man. I'm from the Assemblies of God Church. I grew in the Assemblies of God Church. I was born in the Assemblies of God Church. I started knowing Boakai when I was a very, very young child.
Boakai Baptist.
Hold on, don't. Sintimani, what I'm going to tell you, if I'm done, you can ask anybody. 1981, 82. Boakai was deacon in the Assemblies of God Church, Carwell. Yes. Listen, listen. The first time I met Boakai was at the place Bomai. They had a convention, a large convention. He went there. That in the beginning of agriculture minister early in that place. He was deacon in the Carwell AG church. It's predominantly Kisi church. Even his cousin, the guy, Jake. Do you know Jake was a pastor? Jake left pastor job because he wanted to be a Jake was pastor.
I haven't test Jake. I said, oh,
Jake was pastor at the Assembly of God Church. Carwell.
Me and test and say Pastor Jake.
So, at Carwell, at that Carwell AG, confusion broke up. As a deacon, he put his friends, he put other people together for them to reconcile. They couldn't listen to how he left the AG church and went to the Baptist church. Ome have been running away from confusion. If you read some of the documents that I wrote prior to the elections, this is some of the things that I mentioned. That this man could not settle a common conflict in his church. He moved on. He could not settle a conflict with his best friend, Ellen, who he was vice president to. He could not settle conflict in the CPP. That man cannot make decisions on his own. I got some other from the articles I will share with you. If that man cannot make decisions, being a president of Labro will be difficult. And people think we're lying. Today we are vindicated.
I don't think he can make decisions because.
I'll give you one, Timani, I'll share one reverend number with you. His name is Apostle Gibson Myers. Call him and ask him. What I'm saying, if it is not true, don't bring back on your show.
Because this.
Calabo want to contribute small. Go ahead, Calabo.
Yes, guys, I just want to make a quick comment. I'm sorry from cold, so my voice is not that clear. But in the CPP issue you guys are discussing, you know, I will watch this whole thing play publicly. The ANC and the UP, they were both playing to their strength. And that is what normally happens in political process. If you talk to the ANC guys, they were telling you, we got the money. If you talk to the UP guys, say, we have the population, we have the days, okay? And the UP, their leadership predominantly from the North Central region, which constitute the largest voting population bloc in Liberia. That's Nimba, Lofa, Bon, okay? So their leadership predominantly came from that region, and their leader, Bwaga, also from Lofa. So they were looking, those were their calculation. But they did not have the money. The ANC guys have the money. So each party played to their base. And how you navigate that, it requires kind of strategic thinking. And I think Cummings and his people did not play that game well, I must admit. Because I talked to some of the ANC guys, and it's not unique to ANC. It is characteristic of Liberian political actors. They do not keep secrets. The ANC guys are open that, oh, let's just go to convention. We'll go to convention. We'll just take everything. They were open about that. And there was no secret. The ANC was banking on open primary because it felt that was the formula. They had the resources, they have the well water to do everything. And it's true. In the CPP executive, where UP, ARP, or ANC executives were, I talked to a couple of the folks who were there. It was ANC, it was Cummings, Alexander Cummings that were footing the bills, even paying allowances for UP representative in the executive committee. So in a way, he got himself financially close to even executives from the other side. And part of the mistake Cummings made to was he started to recruit from UP, like the likes of Representative Larry Youngquay, left the UP and joined the ANC. That was a bad sign. That if we are all collaborating and want to be one, why are you recruiting from us? It's a very thing. Similar thing is happening in the South African politics today. Jacob Zuma is fighting to have a black progressive front, but he's recruiting from Julius Malema, economic freedom fighters. And Malema is suspicious of him. He say, hey, if you say we're going to be united in the parliament and we're working together, but you are recruiting from my party. You're not recruiting from ANC that we're fighting. You're not recruiting from the DA under my party.
Okay, Rabo.
So,
let me ask one quick question before you leave us. Rabo, right now, the Liberian post, from what we hear from Liberian people, right, they're saying CDC and UP, they have failed. They have failed the people, right? So now they're looking up to LPP, ANC, Liberty Party, and the other party, and LANU. So now, will you encourage Cummings, Gonglo, Moneybar to all meet and come together as one, as a tail lane?
Well, is what I would say. Autonomy, based on my experience in reading political theory, foreign politics, reading different journals, for different countries, political alliances are not built just by people saying it. I talked to, for example, I talked to Jangako a few months ago from the CDC. I said, listen, you guys are the biggest opposition party in the country. Even though you guys, in terms of governance, you mess up the country. But if you want to have a stronger opposition, let's win on small things. For example, if you want to have a press conference on the essences of the government, invite LPP chairman, invite ANC chairman, invite AFP chairman, invite all the political party leaders and say, look, let's agree, for example, on the budget outcome. Let's look at it. What the people budgeted, they outspend that. Let's speak on that matter. All of you will be united on that one. Let's begin to build relationship on simple mistakes of the government and issue joint statement. If we do that, we naturally build an alliance that will just fall in line. But if we wait until 2028, 2029 and say, oh, let's discuss the political leadership. Because when people are coming together, the major question anywhere in the world is a question of political leadership. It's not a question of the base uniting. The base are always ready to unite. Whatever that leaders say, the masses are willing to follow them. But the political leadership has always been the issue. Whether it's in the United States, anywhere in the world, that is the issue. And you resolve that political leadership by uniting on small issues gradually over time, and people build confidence. Okay. If we don't do that, I agree with you, it'll be a good thing. But I want people to begin to have, for example, take a joint position on national issues, small issues that they don't have differences on. Over time, they can then build the confidence and come together. But don't wait and say you do it in 2028. Don't do it in 2029. It will not go anywhere.
Thank you. Guys, we got 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes will be out of here, so okay. let us wind it down.
But let Emery come in. Maybe Emery got something.
Oh, Tomalin, what to address specifically right now?
Well, no, I mean, anything you want to mind. I mean,
okay. All right. You see the replacement, right? The people that replace CDC, right? All the criticism. And people overlook, whether people like it or not, whether we like it or not, we overlook Ellen a lot. When she came in, she brought people with the expertise, people with the education and experience. Her government, where she took off from, the country was in a very bad state, and she was able to resuscitate the country. And I think because of that, people don't really give her credit, right? And they think they can come in and easily do it because they held some mid director position or mid managerial position and all of those things in her government. And that's the reason why I think they are struggling right now. Because when the 12 years, some of them did not put themselves in the position of being managers, of understanding how to run a country, how to run a government. And we see the struggles today. Today, you see they are all over the place running the entire ministry on their personal pages, Facebook pages. And so we see it still come about, right? That should not be happening. But right, if you put the activities of the government on that page, you should not be owning it as your personal page anymore.
Exactly.
We'll see them do a lot. They don't have the discipline. The guys bragged about having the qualification, the education, the experience. But we're seeing the lapses, right? We're seeing the exposure, how exposed they are to not having proper leadership, not understanding leadership, not having the right people, the right people in place to be able to run the country. We see, for instance, like my own big brother Gaffwan. I keep saying it. I expected a lot from him, because when people saying that you're one of the brains and you are not even representing the country the right way, then it questions the rest of the group. If you look at Gaffwan going to the ministry, knowing that he's the chairman on the board of Lages, and his brother right there is the managing director that should be reporting directly to him. His brother's wife is also there reporting to her husband. That's something that nobody who's been in any managerial role would be able to look at that without addressing it and just let it go for a long time. And that's the reason why you see people like Bill Mangate Jones. He felt that it was okay to do what he did because it's a system. He's seen the system. The system is already corrupted before they can even take on their roles. Just by positions, by even giving positions out. And that's the reason why you look at the Constitution. It talks about integration, right? It talks about regional balance. All of those things are constitutional. You don't have regional balance. You see our financial sectors all being by one group of people from one region. The security sector by one group of people from one region. we're seeing these things being done by design. These things are not done because we just woke up overnight and all of a sudden you find that only the people from Lofa County are educated and so qualified. And then the next excuse is we got more tribes. So you see how situational we can be. When we are his team was there, when they were there, people from Maryland is a different place. Sano is a different place, but we all branded them as the Southeast, right? We all branded them. People from Grangida, they're from Sano, they're from Maryland, they're from Riverside, they're from different places. But we all focused and said they were from one region. But now we're looking at everybody from one county, almost everybody from one county. Central Bank, you have Samoa from Central Bank. You have Double Jala from LRA. We have the chief of staff of the armed forces of Liberia, Fuller from Lofa. So you see finance ministry. We have Gafon from finance ministry. Legis, his brother is Alleges. You see the level of nepotism. We went through the Civil War, right? We went through the different transitions in our history. So the issue there, if President Bouaka, who's been around for a very long time doing all these different transitions, if he actually understood, like he always said, he's the right person, he was the right person to be able to change things around because he understood that they ain't one stranger. But I think he's more of a stranger to our governing structure right now. He's more of a person who does not even understand our governing structure. Because if he actually understands the structure of our government, he won't be repeating, in fact, being worse than some of the things we experience in our history. We accuse Talbot, 1980. For no reason we accuse, we say, oh, nepotism. But we are more nepotistic now than anything. We talk about tribalism, nepotism, what is it? At least, let's give it. Talbot got his brothers, educated too. All right. So you can't make that excuse and say because when they educate people, the people they put in those places, they are educated. That's the Constitution does not support it. The Constitution wants that balance, and to talk about regional balance, because you cannot, one group cannot be disenchanted, one group cannot be marginalized. We all have to, when it comes to the resources of the country, even job resources too. They're not only mineral resources. The jobs in the government will have to have a fair share of balance, regionally, a cross section of the country. We have to have all of those things. Any smart person who's been around for a long time will see those things and know that those are all sticky issues. Those are the issues that brought the Civil War. Those are the issues, in fact, that started before the Civil War came, long before it was just brewing. And now we have the Civil War because of those same things. That one tribe, when you focus, you make one tribe the center of everything, the governing structure. It creates a hard feeling. It creates marginalization. It creates where one group feel entitled, and we see it happening now. When you go on the live feed, Facebook, anywhere you go, you see, and not everybody, but most of the names that support Boyka and his actions, you'll see they're from Lofa. Most of the people. And it's just the truth. Most of the people that attack people now from Lofa, just what CDC was doing. CDC was doing it. You found the red, they stomp on everybody attacking people. It's almost the same thing. So when are we going to learn from this? When are we going to learn?
Can I ask you a question?
Right.
Amber, let me ask you a question, please.
Right. Okay.
I know integrity is something we all stand up for. In Liberia, the politics, integrity is almost like the least thing one can talk about when it comes to winning elections in Liberia. So do you think a person will have to sacrifice some level of integrity, or must one sacrifice some level of integrity to win election in Liberia? Do you think that's what we're happening?
Definitely got to do it in that country.
Yeah, I think because we are all humans, right?
Right.
Good question.
Our Reverend right here, he understands that we're all not perfect, right? But when you do something intentionally, I think in Hebrews 10:26 talk about remission of sin. All right, that you know the intent of it, you willfully do it with the intent to be malicious.
Right.
Okay. then it's not politics. You're showing your true colors,
No,
right?
but
So if
no,
I
but,
can hear you, what you
no,
saying, your
no, but
intention is like to do something good. However, you could do something negative now, but when your intention is to do something good for the future, it's okay to do it. But if your intention for the future is to do something bad, then there's no need of you doing that bad thing now.
but let me come in, right? Look, but Ben asked a good question. Honestly, right? For instance, if you say you want to do Liberian politics, especially you want to do it perfectly, you will never get to the finish line.
It is
For instance, right?
hard.
They got people. I witnessed people putting people in trucks, in buses, busing them to the district, to the area to go and register to vote. Okay, and it's not the right thing to do, but
It's
because you
wrong.
won't win.
But I had a lot of
Yeah. So you
a
won't win.
lot
So
of info today.
So Tomalin,
I come in now. You get people there to go register to vote. Now, even at that set too, sometimes too, even at the polling stations too, people trying to do all kind of clandestine things to get away across. So
Mhm.
if you want to be perfect, I will do it. I will not. I won't do nothing funny. You make it to convince people to like to convince people to go and vote. Somebody get to take money and also use
Yeah,
that.
it is a thing.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, but this is the point, Tomalin.
Amber, just 1 second. Even in
Right,
America,
go
there
ahead.
is something the black people call, the Democrat call souls to the poll. That's almost like trucking in Liberia, where the old black people there on Sunday who don't have cars, they got Democrat get buses line up to take people to the polls and take them to home and take them home. In America, they call it souls to the poll. But I mean, look, I know some of these things. It's just
No,
like
but some of those people are registered in that area.
yes,
They
that
just
is
don't
true.
have
They only go to
the
different places. Yes,
transportation or don't have the means of
it
going.
means that. Yeah,
But they already anyway.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Right. I think that there's a fine line being
That's
strategic.
the difference. The difference.
There's
yeah.
a difference
No,
being
But
strategic.
you want to do politics, for example, right? Let me front with you. Look, yeah. For instance, you go somewhere,
Somebody got to go somewhere, you can say.
politics, tell people what they want to hear. Tell them what they want to hear. You see? Like for instance, look at Trump. Let me get some of Trump. All the Trump saying gonna do. What Trump saying right now? Trump saying
He's not
oh
gonna do
no.
it.
He said, even the thing with TikTok. He said, no, you're way small.
Yeah.
If man muscle, don't get rid of TikTok, yo. All you talking about, he say he will do the one. Trump said, I gotta revisit this one. That politics. Tell the people what they want to hear, and they fall for it. You won't be true for the people. Don't believe you.
But
For Liberia, it's Liberia is Liberia like a country that I think the people don't think.
It's really-
It's really
He
done.
lied to you 4 years ago. Come on,
Yeah.
lie to you again. Let me say, I'll take my pay. I will
Quick,
make sure.
quick to
no,
forget.
I think it's the
Minutes.
Stockholm syndrome too. And if you look at the war, right?
Hmm.
You into counseling. Those are some of the impacts of civil war. You tend to embrace, especially someone who I would say when you the Stockholm syndrome, where it's from, where they hold you hostage, right? And you tend to feel sorry for for the person, the group of people that are holding you hostage, right?
Yeah,
That's
you just say right there, like,
it's a psychological thing. So until we can go through like a full scale rehabilitation where we have counseling throughout in our country, most of the mindset of our people, I'm not saying everyone, most of our people, even people that you see walk, they look normal. It's the impact, the effect of war, and we trauma. We can extend it from you to unborn babies, and so that's what's happening until we get
Everett,
yeah.
even you talk about the trauma, but don't you think it's also the academic limitation?
It's a part of it. It's a major part of it. When it comes to reform is not only limited to counseling. Reform is education. If you look at what happened in Ghana, you were
Yeah.
in Ghana from the initial stage, right? Ghana was a mess.
Yeah.
All right. So what happened? Ghana they infused the whole the whole country, economy, everything, resources to elevate the educational level, to resuscitate, they revamp the educational system, right?
Right.
And I think that what brought the difference in Ghana today.
Yeah.
That what brought the difference in Ghana. But we haven't, when it comes to education, look at our budget. Let us look at our budget. We have like almost nothing. So until we can have that reform, until we can have that resuscitation in our educational system, nothing going to happen right now in our country. I will tell you this, nothing is going to happen because you want to have people with independent mindset. To have people with independent mindset, you infuse the economy, you bring education, you bring employment, where people can say, okay, my judgment is not tied to someone feeding
Right.
me, because I can work and earn, I can go to school and get better education to vie for a better position, and so to change my life. Once you create that level of independence, and I think it's by design too, our politicians don't, because when they do that, when they advocate for that, most of them will be losing their jobs, because now our people will be a lot smarter. Our people will want to compete. Our people will see substance more. They will see their worth more than anything. And that's the reason why these things not happening. Because how can you put someone who does not even understand the essence of education, right? Who does not know the value of education? You have
Right.
a leadership role.
Yep.
How? It's not
How
going
can
to
we do,
happen.
like Jamal Jala is saying? Yeah, how can we do better? You're putting somebody who is not, I mean, is limited to an area, but you're putting him there to lead and expect to have a good result from in that area. It's a challenge, you know, and
It is.
that's why we see it, you know,
Let me
because
know that 2 minutes having the links.
you know
Busy
our
working.
people, our people, for some reason, you know, and you just mentioned Ghana, but Ghana can sit back and say, you know what, the economy is bad. We struggled this year. This person is not doing it. We're not going to put them there next year, you know, and they'll remove them. The thing on that level, just like the American, you know, they say, you know what, we don't want the thing on that level, because they are not, a lot of them are not subject to people pocket. A lot of them are not subject to, you know, like with the problem we're having right now in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court and I mean the legislature. Supreme Court don't want to take a decision, because if you take a hard decision, the executive, they're probably going to cut your benefits. You're not going to get it. So you know what? We stay out of here and let it play out. Anyway, it play out.
And
That's
that's
what happened.
sickening. That's sickening. Look, honestly, right? The Supreme Court. I mean, there's no way they can test your budget. They can test your budget. What are you afraid for? Or that because they're promising you that you're gonna be elevated to, or they're gonna ignore your retirement on the bench, or what? Because honestly, the Supreme Court got girls in this mess today. Had they been clear with the interpretation of the law, we won't be in a mess. And then too,
Because
you thought you saw a minister of justice and dean of the Supreme Court bar who are respected. I mean, that man's a sound man. Oswald Twice was he learned from Councillor Bromsky. But to go and change the Supreme Court interpretation, and as soon as he did it, the executive branch ran with it. They certainly ran with it until we're in a mess
but
today.
see what's but Temanino, but see what
Got,
those
got,
guys
got 30,
just did.
31 minutes. 31 minutes we got. 31 minutes, please. 31 minutes.
See what the Musa Benedict group just did now. They are going to a lower court. So a lower court, as we can predict, might be favorable to them. So the lower court might put an injunction on Kuhn and say Kuhn is not a legitimate speaker. Guess what? Kuhn is going to do? Kuhn is going to run back to the Supreme Court and say, "Hey, you see the guy down there? The guy say I'm not legitimate." Now the same thing that the Supreme Court now is running from now, they will have to speak now, because this time again, are they going to say utter virus again, or will they be clear?
You know, like
Yet to see.
Anthony said yesterday, there's some level of compromise in that Supreme Court.
Yes.
I mean, they are compromised, to be honest.
I agree.
I mean,
I
to
agree.
see the Chief Justice standing with the Vice President at her daughter personal event,
That's a compromise there.
and the Liberian people just see it as fun. They don't even care. That's why I say I wonder the people really think, well, really?
I mean, I agree with you. You know, that was a bad picture, bad optics, right?
Mm-hmm.
You, whether you like it or not, when if people understand the whole thing when it comes to conflict of interest is something that can destroy any government. The trust, the confidence in you can never ever, it can ruin the trust and confidence in you once you see there's clear indication of conflict of interest. Right after that ruling, right? In fact, before then, the news all around that the Supreme Court, why were they delaying? And then the news coming around that just the act of bribery, right? That people talk about, even though we don't have the evidence to that, but circumstantially we can say, there's some truth behind it because the Supreme Court was never ever clear on their ruling. Why were they not clear on their ruling? They had a position before, though. They had a position before. They were very clear, and the president had orchestrated on meeting some of them in private and what have you. So we are all Liberians. We got people in places. Okay, we are all Liberians. But when you see that happen and you come with a vague I would say judgment that nobody knows exactly, then you ask somebody who reports to the executive, right? The justice minister. Now you're asking him to be able to
interpret.
Yeah, to interpret. You asking him for counsel. You asking him for advice as to your ruling. That's a problem. That's a fundamental problem right there.
It means that they don't know the law. It means that they don't know the law. They were just put there. And associate justices should be scholar. They should be scholar because those are people who the interpretation, the opinion can become law. They should be scholar. Unfortunately, they are not. So they really probably don't know the law, how to interpret the law. So they come up with these vague rules and let them figure it out.
I think they were just compromised. That's the reason why
they are.
The executive. Anthony, you can come in though. I think so disciplined tonight, man.
Man, leave me, man.
When he's starting at the end.
I was too busy today at work. I was like, why did people they can't even give me chance?
We got 9 minutes, Anthony. 9 minutes.
But let me get chime in a little bit. So, Liberia has a serious problem. Like I said yesterday, that the Supreme Court compromised. Huh?
Too many gets on the no.
No, yeah. So you can hear me?
We're hearing you.
So like,
I'm saying something. I mean,
the overall circumstances of Liberia is continuing to go, down a slippery slope. You have the police that were in charge of the Capitol building before the building got on fire. It's the same police investigating the matter, my people. You help us here. When there was an attempted assassination on Donald Trump, that our Secret Service director got terminated immediately because she was in charge of that whole operation. She could not investigate herself. She took full responsibility. She was out of the picture for transparency's sake. Today we have the IG running the show. No fire expert from an extended fire expert to investigate the matter to determine the cause of fire. The case was already prejudiced from day one. The president spoke and said it was an arson. When you see things like this happening, you gotta know that they are not serious about getting things done the right way. When you see the Supreme Court, that's supposed to be a distinction of the nation, giving a ruling that confuses almost everybody who went to law school. Where do we go from here? Like Ben Regler said, if they go to the lower court and the lower court says something else, these guys are going to run back to the Supreme Court. The very thing that the Supreme Court been running away from, they will have to face it. What do they do then? They will do exactly
that was a smart
what they did
move.
earlier.
Who decided to do that? That was a smart move.
Who
decided to go to lower court? Yeah.
That's a smart move. When I saw that earlier today, I was like, wow, this is good. But again, the Supreme Court will give her the same scenario, Ben. Because
they will say they're not taking out the case. They said they're not taking out.
No,
they had to did the whole.
It is intra.
the whole 10U saga. Just
Yeah.
how they did it.
So
How
I mean,
they would do it.
Liberians in Liberia are just living by the mercy of God.
Yeah.
By the mercy of God. The way things are done in our country, people are just surviving by the mercy of God. If you take a microphone to the streets and ask people of what they go through on a daily basis and they still survive, it has to be the mercy of God. Nothing else I can say to that regard.
Especially in our courthouse. Jesus. Don't get a legal case in Liberia.
So,
You're done.
Tomalin, you are the cause of me coming here tonight. First, when I wanted to jump, you say, guys, we got the 2 minutes. So I said, oh, but there's no need to jump. After Emre spoke, he said, oh, guy, we got 9 minutes. I said,
9 minutes.
Kelabo, did you listen to the vice president remarks today?
No, unfortunately, I was at work. I didn't follow.
Okay. Let move on.
Well, I mean, it's going to be on the line. So, but look, guys, I know you guys are closing the show. I know we beat on United Party and the CDC, rightfully so, because they are the most corrupt parties in the country. If you look at the history, post-war history of Liberia, for the past 20 years, the only 2 groups that have left the country that manage our economic and our governance process, that's CDC and Unity Party. And they are very incompetent group of people, very corrupt.
What if Apple can say,
part of the argument I've been making is that, I mean, if you look around the world, if you read the Malay Empire, empires in history have fallen because of 3 major things: corruption, infighting, and incompetence. All of the kings, their kingdom fell because of those 3 things: dissatisfaction within, internal dissatisfaction, incompetence, and corruption. And those things are happening in Liberia today. This whole entire empire under the CDC and the Unity Party is going to crumble. It's a matter of time. The masses will implore and turn on them, will turn against them. The state is becoming, unattainable under our leadership. I see CDC people jumping, passing around. CDC and the Unity Party on one side of the coin. During the election, when I made a comment on my post, I made a post, and I said, and people interpret, I must say, that I was supporting Weah. I made a comment, I said, Waka and Weah on one side of the same coin. Just choose the one you're comfortable and support it. Because Waka will give you the old version of Waka, and Weah will give you the young version of Waka. That's all. So choose one of them. So this is where we are. And I still believe, I still believe. I just wanted to make this point. I know you guys, I don't want to go further than this.
Guys, it's 12 o'clock. Y'all have a good night.
You got a mail. Somebody just say you a mail. The person said, can you address how your brother support UP?
No, he doesn't.
No, he wasn't. He didn't support it.
I think
he did not, even though he attended the event, but he did not endorse.
Pastor Gongo is the only one that have been able to speak boldly on this whole legislative.
Yep, he's done it over and over.
He was very bold. He interpreted it the right way. He said Fanati Kofa is a legitimate speaker. He went into the law. I think he should have.
He even made Serena Silva to change her opinion.
Yeah. You know what I like? You know what I like about him? When he party endorsed UP, right? You saw how he was seated over there, right?
He was seated. He had no emotion.
But the man's he's an institutionalist, right? He said, "Look,
yeah, he is an institutionalist."
I think I can just quickly provide quick clarification on this. I'm a member of the Liberian People's Party (LPP).
Overdue. I tell you today. Breaking news.
No, it's not.
Breaking news.
But you never said it.
Breaking news.
Publicly.
Breaking news. Wow, breaking news.
What about that, man?
Breaking news. Organized in 1984
I was in
Wow.
10th grade. I was in 10th grade. I was one of the foot soldiers in Nimba. There's a guy called Moses Wonsia from our district. He and Dangwe Zoo, they were recruiting members. Like you have to have certain quota per country, right?
I
We
need
took
to
the
put it man in
membership,
there. What people were.
we took the membership around to register people. So at that point, we were the young cadres that were recruiting people to join the party. You know, that's how long I've been with
Wow. I didn't even know.
Wow.
What?
That's a long time.
LPB has a
Over 30
constitution.
plus years.
LPB has a constitution that is not consistent with all political parties. LPB constitution is very clear. It says when you go into election as a standard bearer, if you don't win, you are just an ordinary member of the party now. You are no
Really?
longer, you are not even the chairman takes over the party as a so currently Nyako Izeze is a leader of the Liberian People's Party. Okay, the journalists will carry news or Councillor Gongo is against that, but Nyako Izeze by law is the leader of the party now. Until they go to next election, where if you contesting is elected, then he becomes Senate bearer. But Senate bearer, you no longer. So immediately after the election, when he lost, when we were making that decision, he could not preside. It was the chairman that presided. And once the National Executive Committee took a decision by vote, and those said, let's go to UP. One, he has no option but to follow.
Yeah.
Even if he had different opinion, he cannot. Because you have to be party discipline.
Yeah, he was. He has
So
everything.
so by virtue of the fact that the party does the UP, he indirectly does the UP. Is that what you're telling us?
The party.
LPP, read a statement. Sometimes people don't read statement. Like Emery was saying, you take microphone out in the street there, you ask people, they don't even know what they're talking, but they just make it. If you read LPP endorsement statement, it was very clear. LPP were endorsing Unity Party as they were having institutional endorsement. In fact, they were the only group, and Bwaka admitted, Jeremiah admitted even on Spoon, that LPP endorsement was more valuable to them because they never negotiated with them. They never even extended a phone call to them. The group that called LPP to plead with them for the endorsement was President Joshua. He called them 5 times and said, I want your endorsement. And they said, no, the party executive committee will meet and take a vote. It's not one man show.
Let me ask you. So the LPP today, how many LPP people were in the government today?
I think only Dr. Nyakwe or Yakpa, I know so far. There might be others that I don't know, but I'm not know of Dr. Yakpa.
Wow.
There could be others, but I don't know. That's
I mean,
so Mr. Gonglo, do you think yeah, so with the absence of PYJ now, do you think Nima County will be a fool for all fight now?
I will say before I answer, I will say this first. What happens to Nimba in Liberia is so interesting. Non-Nimbayans always pretend to be an expert on Nimba politics. More than people who are from Nimba. They pontificate, they come with an opinion, they make conclusions, they make gestures, and sometimes are based on false premise. I will say that Nimba, PYJ was a towering figure, no dispute about that. He could get 80% of the people following him. He could get 70% of the people following him. But there is not a single soul living today on planet Earth that will garner such influence in Nimba in the absence of PYJ. And I can tell you,
you're right.
Ability even alluded to this fact on the show one time. When influential people, or people I would say populist leaders, usually when they fall, the aftermath is usually chaos. And let's pray not to be. Because in the by-election that is coming, you may have maybe 15% or more running. That's chaotic for one position. Because you know what? If it's a vacuum created, and everybody feel that, the playing field is level, we can step there. That's what follow populist leader all around.
Is it because that the death was unexpected? Is it because the death was unexpected? Is that why you have?
No. Because Ben, I will say this. Those of you who are religious, what the age the Bible sanctioned? 70 years, right?
70, yeah.
Yeah.
Those who
Three
are
scoop and
religious,
10, 70, yep.
yeah. By the time you
73
do something or you pass, you're on your own. But you have gone beyond what God allow you to live. So you are now a biological probability. Anything can happen to you once you pass that. So, I mean,
Kelabo, what you made up this?
So will your sister run?
This thing is trending right now. They said by Senator Yan Twine. He said it. He said, yeah, the people of Nima have lost their leader. He taught us as a lesson that county goes beyond everything. That the county is supreme beyond anything. What do you make of that, Yan Twine?
well, as someone who read Marxist-Leninist theory from high school to university, I tend not to be a nationalist or a tribal nationalist. So I don't tend to comment on tribal Zionism. I don't go around that.
Can I put dodging the questions you people? Oh, you say you ain't not put that.
Oh, no.
Zionism, all
No,
that.
what people preaching.
So right now
When people preaching,
Man, that's not a teacher now, so he
No, but
he
I have my own
apply him,
analysis,
but
right?
because skill.
when people begin to say other countries are important than other countries, it's not my play. I don't argue. I don't go into that. Because that's not what I believe. I believe everybody in Liberia is equal.
right now, Kelabo not criticizing the senators in Nima right now. All the people in Nima leaders, you're not criticizing any one of them now.
So
It's delicate right now. Because everybody we know what happened in the next few
the man
days.
who wrote that,
But that is smart.
he's very educated. The man who wrote that is very educated. I don't know, is he projecting himself as what? A country nationalist or a tribal nationalist? Because he's saying the country is more important, right?
Yes.
And what you say about Liberia is Liberia more important too to him?
How you say that? He said the country remains supreme. So, but now, if you listen to, but listen now,
supreme to him.
you listen to the vice president today. What you're trying to tell them people in our West Hello. I want like Prince Johnson already said he is the person that are choosing. What you trying to say today? That Prince Johnson picking to be senator, picking and saying to be senator, picking to be vice president and president. What you're saying today, you interpret it well.
But he does not have that clout, man. He does
Yeah,
not.
He does not have that
listen to
clout.
what he said today. What you're trying to say.
He's trying to galvanize. He's trying to galvanize that.
In fairness, upon everything I've done, I never listened to that. I not watched any of the event because you know what? I'm a teacher. I'm in the classroom. When I'm teaching, my phones are on silent. I'm not watching. Right?
You didn't leave chat room now. So you see in your chat room.
No, look.
It's there.
When I come from work, I sit behind this chair. I prepare my lesson plan for tomorrow.
Can I go as a politician? Right now, it's not trying to talk.
But Mr. Gonglo, Mr. Gonglo, let me ask you a question.
It doesn't mean it's true.
Oh, Emery, you want to? Okay, yeah, go ahead, Emery.
No. I have my own analysis before Mr. Gonglo will come on this podcast, this live podcast. I said the smartest thing for his sister to do. I will tell you this, because what's going to happen? She was always a force to reckon with in all of the elections, right? People will tell her, "Don't come in now." To me, it's the right time, because what's going to happen?
For her,
yeah, what's going to happen? I will say this: I'm a number person. On the Gil side, they're going to send more people. They all ambitious. Okay. And I know strategically, if your sister gonna go in, I will tell you the truth. She can win it. It's the right time. And I sent her a message, but I think because we're not friends, she hasn't seen it. But we can talk off camera. I've done the number.
The last time she ran, she won.
She can win.
She got up to what? 38,000 votes.
But that's what I'm saying.
Anybody else?
She can win. Yeah,
guys,
it's the right time.
But guys, here's the thing you might look into. First of all, listen carefully. Since Prince Johnson been running, he said the person I ever made a campaign was either Gonglo Ware.
Yes.
He said it.
Yes.
He said it.
But now you know how Comcom became senator was a controversial election, right?
Yes.
Between two of them. When the result was being called, she was leading. She leading Kun. But later on, look, the thing changed.
It got changed second away, yeah.
Yeah. Now, it in court. Mind you now, right now, to run in that election right now, you go against an establishment. Who is the sitting vice president? And you guys are whether it depends whether he will endorse or not, who he endorsing that. You know, he already leads to Wakoga. So now, to do it, you need resources, you need a strong base behind you. But right
she
now,
has the base. I think the challenge is the resources.
No,
she
no,
has
no,
the
no.
base.
I think apart from the resources, I think she can.
If that's the case, you're talking about that tomorrow, CDC, ANC, all the parties that say we put support behind her, then we endorse her as our candidate.
But it's a simple thing, right?
But
to take away from UP right now,
Yeah.
because of that cause, it's so easy to put the other political parties together, the opposition, just for that cause, right?
Yeah,
to take away from UP.
She don't do it. The woman will not gamble herself to go there and then
Right.
tomorrow because you won't get a record if you go to the beating election. No, you won't get a record.
Let me come in with a different angle.
Because she already has CDC support because she put her weight behind CDC.
Yeah, but CDC
No, but let me get said that before CDC,
Huh?
before CDC, she went on the CPP ticket.
No, wait,
Let me get said that she
hold
went.
on. She will get CDC for support. She will get ANC support.
That's not true. Politics does not
Okay, let me
work.
finish. Okay, let me finish.
That been get on the angle.
What I'm saying is because she campaigned for Georgia in this going election. She did it. So
I can
if
tell
she
you, I
went
can tell you other whole campaign are also contesting.
yes. So
Who
but
are
if she,
campaign managers? Who are campaign managers for
So let me get my
but
perspective,
if
right?
she went, but if she went to Georgia and if she got Georgia blessing, because all Georgia need to do, all the opposition need to do is to stop the Unity Party in Nima. If you can stop them in Nima, the election will be then you know you have a shot for 2029. So this election will this could be just the same way how we brought how you guys brought
Delon in.
Yes.
It could be the same thing.
But Ben Jonah, to talk is cheap.
It's easy.
Okay, y'all hold on. Let me get my own perspective.
To do it right, you gotta give your resources, logistics, and your grounding. You gotta be on the ground. They all gotta be on the ground. If I see Joria, Cummings, Councilor Gonglo, all the opposition posted the behind in Nima, campaign, then we talk about. But the one we are going to take a race who are needed tomorrow.
No, that's true. That's true.
All right. Let me get my perspective before the brother come in and give his perspective. Mr. Gonglo, I want you to be last. Please. And here is why. Mr. Gonglo, for me, you're a statistician, so you understand number better than I do, right? The last election that she went toe-to-toe with Jeremiah Conway, she went on the CPP ticket. She has something today in Nima candidate than any other who be candidate that may want to contest the by-election that none of them has. That is, she has been battle tested and was able to garner 38,000 votes. Not only that, her people went to the Supreme Court and protested for 2 consecutive weeks. She will get the sympathy vote. She will get the anger vote. She will get the consistency vote. And guess what? The only thing right now, if she is going to run, she got to make that known. And I like the fact that she went to Liberia to attend this funeral because what? This funeral will be the most attended funeral with almost all the political players. And if she decides to run, I like her answer she gave on Spoon that she's a traditional person. She will not comment on the electoral process until the senator is laid to rest. And after that, she will decide what to do. You are the direct family member to her. I want you to encourage her to run, and we will talk behind the scene. That's all I can say.
Yeah, tell her we can have the conversation because I one person who Actually, I started off by saying that she can win with the numbers right now. She
She
can win.
can win,
Koga will be a
and
weak
she's the
opponent
best.
against her.
She has
Trust
the
me.
best
So,
opportunity today.
I just wanted to make comment on what Ben said. Then I will leave because it's 12:14.
No, you're not leaving. You're
Yeah.
not
So
leaving.
let's.
You're leaving.
Ben said something, and it's not entirely true. Ben said if the opposition do not win the penny by election, they can forget about 2029. That is not entirely true.
That's not entirely true. That I
Because
agree.
they could lose the election and there could be global economic crisis next year or 2028, and that could just evaporate anything the administration wants to do, and the masses will turn against them. Because first of all, they are corrupt, there's infighting, and they are incompetent. So those three combinations could actually make them to look bad, and voters could actually reject them. So let's make that clear. So there's no parallel between the two. Event in 2025 cannot basically be an indicator for or a shadow for 2029. Let's be clear on that. The other thing that is also true is that it is possible that she could go in this election and win. It's possible. But it's also possible that if the establishment, which is the most dangerous thought, see her as an existential threat for their
Right.
2029 ambition, they could crush her. Look, let's admit,
Yeah, but
I've
she.
been election magistrate in Liberia. I work for the electoral process, not just in Liberia, globally. I work as electoral officer in East Timor. I work for a cattle center in Kenya. I've been involved in elections in different countries. No election is free and fair, particularly in developing countries where you do manual registration, right? And you do manual voting. A lot of stuff happen. A lot of things. The Tomalin was saying some things I listened to. So election in Liberia is not entirely true. You can actually, if I'm a if I have $200,000 today, I can go to a brand new district in Liberia in 2027, build a house there, and contest it and win there. I can do it. I just need to I just need to calculate and buy the vote, and I'll win. It's possible. So
Somebody want to contribute. Hold on, somebody want to contribute. You got 1 minute. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Sorry. Yeah, let me say this first of
Hey,
all.
sorry, long time, my man.
Yeah, how are you, Anthony? The first thing is that the message sent today by our Vice President Kuhn was to tell the people of Nima County and Liberia large that he will be standing in the position as the late Senator Prince Johnson. I don't know whether you guys grab that. That's a hardcore truth. And you know what's going to happen? If come one May in the by-election in Nima County, the hands that will be raised by him, he will try to do all he can so that hand can be the winner. And that will send a signal to the people of Liberia seeing him in 2029 as a force to reckon with. The next thing I want to say here is that it might be unbelievable to all of you over there, but with Nyan Twine coming from the Madam Bell, it's a definite Gil man coming to be the next senator of Nima County. Don't rule that out. Do not rule that out. Another thing I want to say, Mrs. Edith Where yes, she will be a force to reckon with, but there will be a lot of job to do by her in getting the votes from the Gil belt. All right? The next thing, Jeremiah Kuhn has a problem now lifting the hands of Kuga. Kuga was not a friend to Prince Johnson. We all know that they are relatives, they are cousins, but you are not a friend to him. So there's a likelihood Prince Johnson did not lift him between. Say that?
No, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
You saw the dangling between he and Kuga at the time when it came to Nyan Twine taking the lead in there. At the end of the day, Prince Johnson went with Nyan Twine. So it's something else. So we should be looking at somebody else that will dive the way through in there to see what happens. Other than that, but I know for sure the next senator of Nema County, replacing or the next senator Prince Johnson will come from the Gil Belt. Let nobody rule that out. That's a possibility.
So
and Jeremiah, what's the question?
Yeah. So it's on his side.
Yeah.
Okay, so sire, this is exactly what I say here. Non-Nimbayans tend to be expert on Nimba politics. Look, the whole thing, let me explain to you.
Say that again.
I said part of the issue in Liberia is that non-Nimbayans tend to be expert on Nimba politics. And here is what I mean.
You said no Nimbayans?
None Nimbayans.
People who are not from Nima County.
That's not true.
Well, that's your opinion. So hold on, let you expand on that.
Prince Johnson have been an expert of Nima politics and Liberia large. Why we shy away from that?
Maybe you didn't understand me. I said those who are not from Nimba turn to be make them project themselves as experts on Nimba politics.
Don't identify my name. I'm partly from Nima County too as well, though. I'm partly from Nima County.
Okay.
I'm partly from Nima. My mom is from Nima County.
But then he's not referring to you now.
Very well.
Yeah, but Syed, Dominic, that means he's not referring to you.
So let me say this, Mr. Syed. Here is what I will say to you. You know, the whole thing about Nimba has 5 ethnic groups demographically that in terms of the population exceed 5,000 people and above, right? So we recognize them, we say 5 ethnic groups. Pele, Kran, Baso, Yo, Mano, Maningo. Okay? We have that. We name them. So the argument, in fact, the Eros Council of Nimba have made has been that traditionally has been Lower Nimba and Upper Nimba. And the Mana and the Gio and all the tribes cut across this district. If you go Upper Nimba, and the headquarters of Upper Nimba is Sanukole. If you go Lower Nimba, the headquarters of Lower Nimba is Tapeta. And Tapeta has been the headquarters for all the districts there. So if you cut Nimba, the districts are in Lower Nimba, District 7, District 9, District 6. Yeah, those are the districts. Now, Upper Nimba constitutes the biggest district, the biggest chunk of it. That's District 5, 4, 3, 2, and 8. They are part of that. So, Nyatwaya is also from Upper Nimba. Okay? Lower Nimba does not have that representation. If you look in Lower Nimba, you got both Gio, Mano, Manigo, B, Kran, all the tribes there. If you look in Upper Nimba, you have Gio, Mano, Mandingo, Pele, all of them there. So it has not been about tribe. The argument and people who outside, they have argued on the tribe issue. Oh, the Gio and Mano, oh, sometimes, oh, Gio Mano people will never do this. Gio Mano people will fight the real, will do it. They say, but internally in Nimba, if you could, that's not a conversation. The people are intermarried, they understand each other. I mean, if you speak, I will understand you. I speak Mano, they will understand me. And in fact, most of the people speak the both languages. Okay? Even my sister, Madam Way, if she's speaking Gio, you think that she's Gio. Okay? If she's speaking Baso, you think she's Baso. I mean, there are some people who are very good with language. Okay? So, tribe has not really been the issue. The issue is, in this case, in fact, in the case of Nimba, the argument she has made most of the time has been the gender factor. There are 11 positions in the legislature for Nimba, and 11 angry men have been there all along. As big as Nimba is, she has always argued, we need a gender balance, we need female in the. She has never argued on the other side, that, oh, lower Nimba or upper Nimba. She has always argued on the question of gender representation. And that's been her argument. If she runs in this election, that will be her argument. Still, that
yeah,
will
but Mr. Congress,
let me conclude and listen to you guys. Let me conclude and get off the line and listen to you guys. So in conclusion, Kalapo, I listen to you, and I know all from where all you come. But let me say this: the section line with those who participated to the election will cause a lot of damage to each other over there. So we should be cognizant of that as well. We saw that happen with Edith and that of the guy down who's a representative who ran in the senatorial race and chopped up some of the vote that had Jeremiah Kun coming to become the senator.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Taiwan way.
Yeah, so Taiwan way. So we should take cognizance of that and know who
And Taiwan way is contesting too.
It should be people coming in to tell people, look, back off, because we from this same belt. If you don't do this, the vote going to be divided, and we should know where these votes are coming from.
How is contesting?
So, and lastly, to Anthony, what happened with Edith and Jeremiah? There was no fraud in there for me in my mind, because some of the vote came from that Geo belt, and more of it went to him. That's how he won. And with Prince Johnson being on his side, giving the edge water, it was Taiwan who bought. If he add Taiwan vote to Edith vote, it was surpassed Jeremiah's vote. And
yes.
All he had to do was to get back off. Edith was being the senator
she was
today.
shy of 5,000 votes, and Taiwan got a little over 5,000 votes.
But
that's surpass the vote of Jeremiah Kun.
Yeah,
Jeremiah Kun won with 3,000.
But that's why I said she has, you know,
and that's the reason why she's the presumptive winner.
But that's why I
said have that in the most recent election. Held that.
If you look at over time, she's been highly competitive. She has
very competitive,
unshakable base. So with that, if you look at Garrison Yelu, what I would do with Edith, Edith got to be strategic. Put Garrison Yelu. Garrison Yelu can easily side with her. Put Garrison Yelu in the race. Put other guys from CDC Roland Duo all in the race. Let them take some of the gear votes. Edith, her base, always her base. She has this base,
that base.
No matter what.
38,000 votes in the senatorial election.
Right.
In Liberia, that's a lot.
If I were Edith, trust me, I will come in the race and be strategic and see that raise the money and see how you can put Garrison and other guys that are going to support her in the race from the gear belt to take some of the votes away from the potential candidate from the gear side. I think going to be the winner.
Shoot, my man.
And they got and she can win it. She can win it strategically. She can win it.
I'm done over here.
So yeah, thank you all. Tomalin, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, you know everyone.
Emery, I'm gonna call you. We gotta talk.
Okay, boss. All right. They been not running again, man. They been
right now, only Dugas have endorsed. I endorse already.
I told Duke I'm supporting.
But Duke that represented I said it to again. Where you're not endorsed me to money.
No, I can't endorse you. Talk.
Anthony, what happened you? I get very complaint about you.
No, I think he got to take his photo from behind Yaya name and like reason why I'm unhappy with him.
Yeah.
You also He's a campaign manager.
A rebel leader, a rebel.
You get a step barrier to the most moderate.
Me no, not me.
Them grown men said, my mom told me say I should be sorry. I left the race.
No, you must have never had a conversation.
Well, Anthony, call me. Let's talk, bro.
You must have never had a conversation. I pulled out of the race for personal reason. I never said my mom said. Even though my mom said, I want you to be on Facebook.
The man said, go to whatever.
No, don't mind that. Man, my people, they always doing shit.
So, Tomalin, when does the show start?
You know what I mean? I was in my mom's at my leap on the day.
10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be.
Okay.
All right, guys.
But for Emerald, I'll talk. I'll call you.
Okay, boss.
All right.
All right, man.